Okay guys, this is an intro to the 4 M390 knives that I tested that you're about to watch. But before we watch that, I wanted to talk about Ohio Blade and Cutlery. He is doing a giveaway right now, and he was only looking for, I believe it was 79 subscribers. The video's only been up about 5 days. He already hit that goal, but I think we can get him a whole lot more than that. So go check out his giveaway. He does some awesome stuff. I love his $5 Friday knife, where he buys $5 knives from Bud K and does one every Friday. Some of them are pretty funny with the way he talks about them, but go check him out. Give his channel a sub, get in on his giveaway, and now let's get to the regular video. Alright guys, some more M390. As you can see, I have 4 of them here. These were all sent to me to test by Rolf Richter. I appreciate him for sending these along. After these were edge retention tested, they all did go to Kurt for Rockwell testing. So we'll go ahead, and these are the ones we're going to take a look at today. This is the Maxace Balance M390. The Venom Bone Doctor in M390. The CH3507. And this knife. I had no idea what this was when it came, and Ralph sent me a link. The link said that it was a Greenthorn M390 knife. When I did follow that link, it came up with a totally different name. It came up as a Miker Original Design Folding Knife M390. So we're going to go ahead and watch the cutting on all of these, and like always, we'll come back and talk about them, how they sharpened, what they did for performance, and what the HRC was on all these here. So let's watch that and come back. Alright, now that we watched the cutting, let's go ahead and talk about these. The CH sharpened up just fine. No problem sharpening it. Deburred easy enough. Really didn't have any issues with it. This knife also sharpened up easy enough. Didn't really have any deburring problems or anything like that. It did feel a little gummy when I sharpened it, but that was really all that I noticed in sharpening this one. This knife, easy enough to sharpen up, felt pretty good in sharpening. Deburred easy enough. Had no complaints about this one. Pretty much like any other sharpening. Which brings me to the balance. This one probably had the best geometry of all of them. It did feel a little gummy in sharpening, and when I got to stropping it, this went way outside the parameters of what I stropped to test. This took a high amount of work to remove the burr. Probably one of the most stubborn burrs I've had to remove yet. It was bad enough I had to go to 16 micron for about 2 minutes and then work back through the 6, the 3, and the 1 micron before I could get the burr to go away. That happened on every sharpening. It was not one single thing. It was every single time I sharpened this one. And I don't remember, I did talk to Rolf about just us talking back and forth. He had said something about how much these cost. I believe the price of this one has come down quite a bit. When I looked them all up just this week, this one was down to, I believe, $130 maybe. The Bone Doctor is, I believe it was $240. This was $140, and this was currently $185. So let's talk about how they did. This knife, this one had been sharpened before, and so had the CH. I still went ahead and put a few edges on them to make sure that everything was good. The first test, this did 110 feet fine edge and 178 feet working edge. So I sharpened it up again, ran the verification, and it did 112 feet fine edge and 174 feet working edge. Would have been nice to see it do a little better. It is compared to the CH, this feels like a much cheaper knife, and it's $45 more expensive. You can see that after I tested it, these all, like I said, went to Kurt. This one came back at 58.6 HRC. CH, could tell it had been used quite a bit, sharpened quite a bit. Went ahead and sharpened it a few times anyway. Got the testing. The first test, I got 132 feet fine edge and 176 feet working edge. For the verification test, I got 135 feet fine edge and 180 feet working edge. And this came back with 59.8 HRC. And the performance on this is about what the 59-ish range M390 seems to do. So now we'll talk about this one. Really stubborn burr. Felt pretty gummy sharpening. And it showed in testing. This was brand new. I did sharpen this 3 times. I tested on the 4th and 5th edge. For the first test, I got 121 feet fine edge and 164 feet working edge. For the verification test, I got 120 feet fine edge and 168 feet working edge. You can see where it was tested, and this came back at 59.7. With the burr being so stubborn to remove, this wasn't done very well. It's on the really low end of, for testing at almost 60 HRC, this is performing down where a lot of the lower 58, mid 58 HRC M390 is doing. And then we come to this knife. And really the only thing I don't like about this knife, I really don't care for this inlay in the blade. Other than that, this one was comfortable to cut with. This was also brand new. I sharpened it up. This one also has pretty good geometry. Sharpened it up, had no problem sharpening. It deburred like any other knife. I put 3 edges on it, prepped it. On the 4th edge I started testing. and I got 141 feet fine edge and 230 feet working edge. Sharpened it up, tested it again. The verification test, I got 142 feet fine edge and 233 feet working edge. Sent this one to Kurt. Same thing, got tested. This was 60 HRC. As you can tell, this was the, even though those aren't stellar M390 results, this was the best out of the 4 of them. And when I cover all the M390, which I'm about to do here really soon, we'll talk about things like that, because you guys have been watching all these videos have seen not a whole lot of these even break 200 feet for working edge. So while I don't think this is great, the results, when you start comparing it to other M390, it starts looking a whole lot better. Because from, well, without giving anything away, there's only a few knives that have done better than this one for working edge. So these are the 4 that Rolf sent me. Once again, I appreciate it. Tested all these. I'll be sending these back to him. 4 different examples of China done M390. That's funny. I lined them without even thinking. I lined them up from the lowest to highest performing. So that's all I have for this. You guys have any questions, comments, put them down below. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.